The Face of the River, in time, became a wonderful book. And it was not a book to be read once and thrown aside, for it had a new story to tell every day.
Dawn breaks on the Mississippi River as the chapter of a new day begins. On this day, scores of barges up to 300 feet long, hauling 2,500 tons each, will transport petroleum, coal, steel, rock, and grain along the river to and from the Gulf Coast ports, generating billions of dollars in economic benefit for the nation. The Mississippi River holds an important place in American folklore. In an era when the river captivated the country's imagination for colorful characters and romanticized its purpose, its economic role was underplayed. Its strength seemed so powerful, while decisions affecting its future were often dismissed. And it's easy to understand why. The Big River is the world's fourth largest, running through 10 states. A drop of rain at its northmost point takes 90 days to reach the Gulf. Its watershed is the fourth largest in the world, including parts of 31 states, covering 1.2 million square miles. More than 50 cities depend on the Mississippi for their water supply. Unnoticed by most Americans, though, is the vast economic impact of the river. More than $7 billion in agricultural and forest products flow down the river each year. The basin produces 92% of the nation's agricultural exports and secures America's energy coast in the Delta, where the river meets the Gulf in America's wetland, one of the world's most important estuaries. Billions of dollars in tourism revenue are generated each year along the river's banks. Hunters and fishermen alone spend $158 million annually in search of its natural bounty. The river's economic might is undeniably linked to its ecological health, which in many places is deteriorating. This is bad news for the more than 60% of North American birds who use the Mississippi River Basin as their migratory flyway, and 25% of all North American fish species that live in the Mississippi River watershed. The river is a source of fresh water and life, and we're reaching a better understanding that any decision made on one part of the river affects the entire system. For the Big River to work, a common interest for the entire river system must take priority.
The river itself has no beginning or end. In its beginning, it is not yet the river. In the end, it is no longer the river. At what point in its course does the Mississippi become what the Mississippi means?
America's Wetland Foundation, its sponsors and partners, will bring together government officials, corporate executives, economic experts, scientists, engineers, environmental advocates, and concerned citizens to work toward comprehensive river management. We call it the Big River Works, a series of 5 leadership forums aimed at building cooperation to restore the health of the mighty river. In New Orleans, the focus will be setting a framework for connecting interests and establishing shared goals for the initiative. Memphis serves as the host of the Big River Thrives, which will look at ecosystem sustainability and the habitats, flyways, and estuaries teeming with fish and waterfowl that require action to survive. We explore how the Big River lives in St. Louis, where we'll discuss partnerships for a healthy river, water quality, river access, and carbon and nutrient loads that impact a sound river environment and economy. Minneapolis is home for The Big River Provides, addressing community and jobs, tourism, recreation, culture, and history. We'll bring together the region's top local and state policymakers to discuss solutions for the Big River's future. And finally, we close in Chicago for The Big River Moves, looking at commerce, navigation, sediment flow, flooding, beneficial use of dredge materials, restoration, and setting the stage for an accord for cooperation to sustain the Mississippi River system.
It is not a commonplace river, but on the contrary, is in all ways remarkable.
As this day ends, the mighty Mississippi awaits a decision. Does America have the will to address the issues affecting the river's environmental and economic future? If the Mississippi River is to fulfill its destiny as the source of life, we must act together for its health. The big river works. It has, and it will. Join us in this national conversation to protect the system that is the heart and promise of a great land.